again, and good morning, all you airport bums and bummettes. Captain T, Pilot-to-Pilot Network. You know, one of the things that I've discovered in my lifetime flying around to small airports is there's a character building something weird in almost every airport you visit. My recent visit to Yankee 87 was no different. You're going to want to come along and see what we uncovered hiding in a personal hangar at the Empire Airport. It's a hoot.
The fun of these little airports is you never know what you're going to run into. We have visitors. So who did I meet? I met a guy by the name of Bill Rotenberry, who is building the mystery plane. I'll just leave it at mystery plane. Somebody will have to tell me what it is. But Bill's having a great time here at the Empire International Airport, putting together his own toy. Now he said, we've only been talking here for just a couple minutes, but Bill said he expected that when he started fabric, he'd have this flying last year. But if anybody's followed the saga of the 1X and how many times I said Brad was going to fly that, you know that those things don't happen. 90% of the work on a home-built airplane takes place in the last 10% of the build. So here's some clues up here. What do we got going on up here? What is this? That looks like a beer barrel. Is it a beer barrel? What is that? Looks like something off a Corvette. Oh, but of course. And he's got wings and things. Look at homemade jigs. I love it. Got a wing rack he built. Oh man, this is how it's done right here. And I see the other wing over behind the bench. He's got a great big custom bench that he spent hours working on to put together. Look at that. He's got a table there big enough to lay out a wing. That's the way you do it, guys. So Bill, tell me a little bit about your power plant on this mystery airplane here. It looks something like a General Motors of some kind.
It's a Corvair, 2700 cc's. So it's a standard displacement Corvair engine. They're making them where the displacements can go quite a bit further up, depending on how much you open up the cylinders or put in new cylinders. This one will put out about 100 horsepower.
Okay, so that's the same engine, we talked about that a little bit. That's basically probably the same engine that dude over in Oshkosh was showing off, the RV7 with the twin engines on it. That's the engine he put in there.
That's exactly right. He has a pair of Corvairs. I think they're somewhat larger displacements. They probably put out 120 horsepower.
I think I read 100 horsepower side.
Are they? Okay. So it's a standard Corvair.
Yeah. And you said you have to do a little work to the Corvair to make it work.
Well, there's quite a bit of work. It's not a car engine anymore. It's a flight engine. The cylinders and the case are pretty much original, but everything else gets either significantly reworked or there's new parts. The heads are completely reworked. The camshaft is thrown away and put in a new cam. The crankshaft is significantly reworked and nitrited for hardness. We've got a prop hub that's made by William Wynn, who's the Corvair, flycorvair.com and .net. And he has been doing Corvair conversion engines for 25, 30 years, and he's kind of got it down to a science. So he sells a lot of parts for converting these Corvair engines to flight. And so the oil pan, take that off, throw it away, get another one. It's about double the volume, and it's got some baffles, so it maintains the oil a little bit better than a car engine.
So how much oil do you carry for the sump?
Somewhere between 5 and 7 quarts.
Okay, so it's more than you would think on that little engine. Oil cooler? They put a cooler on them or no?
There's an oil cooler.
Go ahead.
Right back here.
I didn't see it. So I can't really get down in there. There's a lot going on here, but down in here, in the middle of things,
yeah,
there's a pulley on there. It looks like a pulley. Bill says that's a vibration dampener.
That's a harmonic vibration dampener for the crankshaft.
Okay, goes on the back, still on the front on the ring gear.
It goes on the back, and that was part of the accessory drive in the car, but now we just use it for vibration dampening.
Okay, so it did drive something originally.
Yes, and now you can see from the prop hub, the belt will go here,
right,
for typically an alternator.
Right.
This aircraft does not have an engine-driven electrical system.
Okay.
So I have a wind generator.
Okay.
I'm out in the country.
Sure.
And it helps. I really don't need it with this aircraft, and with the wind generator, it'll handle all the electrical load I need.
Sure.
To recharge the battery.
So who's got the prop here? Is that a Sturba?
No, that's a Tennessee propeller.
I didn't think it was because Sturba doesn't have that fancy back on it. They're just varnished wood.
Yeah, that's a Tennessee propeller.
Pretty.
It's 64 by, I believe it's a 36 or a 38.
It's a climb prop.
Well,
36.
No, yeah, 38.
Yeah, all new exhaust. Man alive. Pretty.
Right. The exhaust came from William Wynn. That's another part that he manufactures.
He's the guy, huh?
As well as the intake manifold. All the engines are pretty much standard. Once you get past the intake manifold and you get into your carburation, there's various options. On this one, I have the aero injector, a Sonic's aero injector on it.
Okay.
I've got about a little over 6 hours of runtime on this engine.
Yeah.
Just static on the ground, tied up. And I'm very pleased with the aero injector.
Runs up around 3,000, you said?
A little 2950 static, which is just where it needs to be.
Cool.
But yeah, I've had very good luck with the aero injector. The mixture control. People look at my panel and say, where's your vernier dial for the mixture? I said, a vernier dial I'll be turning all day. I can move it a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches from full rich to
big
lead.
long
So
throw.
I've got a lot of room to adjust, and it's not that sensitive, so it works very well.
Let's take a look in the driver's seat here. I see you got nice burnished panel and you got nice burnished induction. Very pretty, very clean. Look at that, you can't miss the fuel right there, looking you right in the nose. That throttle looks like something out of an RV catalog.
Again, that's from Sonic's.
Yeah, I've seen one just like it in a 1X that we built. All new gauges, it looks like. You got this is now. Is this IFR? No, it's not IFR. Boy, you got her set up, I'll tell you. You got her set up. So ignition-wise, what do we got on there for ignition then? We got magnetos?
No magneto.
So it's all electronic.
No, it's not electronic either.
Oh.
This is,
Now we need to ask the magic question.
Okay.
Well, what is it if it's not a magneto and it's not electronic?
it's old school like me in that it's dual points.
Okay.
This one runs on points. Now, a lot of the folks, again, William Wynn sells refurbished distributors
Right.
that now have dual points or dual electronic ignition, or one side is electronic, one side is points.
Mm-hmm.
I like points because having run old cars,
Sure.
when the points start going bad,
Sure.
the engine starts running rough, you can tell,
Yeah.
and it fails very slowly, but you can tell what's going on.
Yeah.
Electronic ignition, if it goes, it stops.
Yep.
So, and I'm a mechanical kind of guy.
Push
She
on.
needs to run off a battery.
Yeah.
The ignition is single spark plug per head, per cylinder,
Ooh.
but it goes back here, and from the distributor back, it's dual ignition. So it's got dual points, dual condensers, dual coils,
Okay.
and I can switch between the two ignitions.
So basically the only thing that's going to follow up is if you lose a plug.
If you lose a plug, but it's 6 cylinders, not
Right.
4.
Right.
And
Right.
so running on 5
Probably
is-
can make it to the field.
It's probably pretty hard to tell that you've lost
Yeah.
a cylinder.
It's like the old 0300 Continentals. They, you know, you could tell if it was missing, but you didn't really know what it was when it started.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I asked the question, boys and girls. We got this stiff gear here.
That's the biggest clue.
Got some biggest 800 tires on it, looks like. But I don't see any shock absorbing information going on here at all. This is all just rigged and stiff legged, and there you go. You got it. You better learn to land it.
Yes.
So, mystery plane, free hat coming your way. All you got to do is tell me what it is. Bill, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I'm in here bothering him. All he wants to do is get his fabric done so he can get it back together, get the paint on, get it out there. Well, as happens all the time with these builds, you got parts scattered all over the place, ready to go. There's the top cowl and the fuel tank cover, and then more of the top cowl out front over the engine department. Yeah, scattered around, looking good. You got control surfaces over here, all ready to rock. Beautiful. Nice fabric work.
Thank you.
So I asked Bill about his fabric, whether he was going to dope it or paint it or what he's going to do with it. It's kind of interesting, the idea that he's got in mind for his fabric. What are you going to do? What kind of system you got going on there?
Well, the fabric is Superflight, but the system I'm using is the Stewart system. It's a water-based glue system. And the Stewart guys have been great. Learned it at Oshkosh a few years ago. Did some demos, and it worked great. And I can say in using it here, it's pretty easy. And what I like about it most is you put the first layer of glue on, it tacks up, you put your fabric on, and you can release it, reapply it, get it just the way you want it before you hit it with an iron, and use the heat to kind of lock it down. So that's worked great. When it comes to paint, I'm using exterior latex paint.
So you put that on with a roller,
Well,
where you can?
you certainly can, and a lot of the folks who have, in the experimental aircraft community, who've used latex, a lot of them have used a roller and then followed up to take the, with a foam brush
Right.
to smooth it out. I'm gonna spray. I've gotten some experience spraying.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spray a white, the plane's basically gonna be white with red accent. So I'm gonna spray it. I gotta build a paint booth here. But I'll spray it with the white latex paint, get it to where I want it, and then I'll roll and use a foam brush for the accent.
Latex has got to be cheaper, that's for sure.
Well, and it's plentiful, and
Yeah.
it's easy to repair.
Yeah.
That's what I understand.
Well, good for you, man. Congratulations on your mystery plane. This looks like a lot of fun on the afternoon and the evening to me. Hey, so there it is, another one in the books. Our thanks to Bill Rotenberry for giving us a good in-depth view of his mystery ship project. And again, a big thank you to all the fine folks around the Empire area, northern Michigan, for sharing their piece of paradise with us. If you're out and about, you got time, stop in at Empire, make use of the facilities, and enjoy yourself. For now, it's Captain T. So long.